His humbleness, I think, is what stood out the most about Les to me.
This man never bragged, but his loved ones say his life was nothing short of extraordinary. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. A 96-year-old World War II veteran from Monticello died this week. You may recognize him because he was recently featured in an Angels Among Us story. His family says he knew almost everyone in town. WCIA3's Emily Braun is with us. Emily, he wore many hats during his life.
Jessica, literally and figuratively. We told you during the Angels Among Us feature that Les Gadbury was a Marine who lost his K-bar knife in the 50s and was gifted a new one by a fellow Marine from Decatur. But after he became a veteran, he also became a football coach. Throughout his life, Gadbury touched many other lives, whether that was on the battlefield, the football field, behind a wheel, or just in passing. 2 months ago, we introduced you to Les Gadbury.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
He was a World War II veteran, football coach, driver's ed teacher, and most recently featured in an Angels Among Us piece. His daughter, Gloria Cardoni, says he'll always be her angel, even if he's not among us anymore.
He knew it was coming.
Gadbury passed away Thursday after suffering a stroke. Cardoni says during his 96 years, he never met a stranger.
Everybody knew my dad, so all of us kids, we had to behave.
Michael Harris played for the Monticello High School football team while Gadbury was coach.
When he spoke, you listened. I recall one time when we had a trick play, and he came up to me and sent me in and said, "I want the middle linebacker laying on the ground." And I did. I took him out.
He knew him well, but neither he nor Cardoni really knew much about Gadbury's military accomplishments until the past couple of years. That, they say, is just the thing about him.
Humility and humbleness, that spoke volumes to me.
Though flowers and sympathy cards are nice gestures, Gadbury's family and friends don't need them to know how much he was loved by so many and how much Les loved life right up until the end.
He said, clear as day, even with a stroke, I've had a wonderful life. It was a long process, but it was also the most beautiful lesson.
His family is having his funeral on Monday, which just so happens to be the 75th anniversary of his landing in Iwo Jima. Jessica.
What an incredible life he led. Emily, thank you for sharing his story.